Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where it is truly time to feel the power of pro wrestling, especially next week. It is Lost in the Midcard. Here we are, episode 299. We are on the eve of the big 300, where we are going to be coming from you to you live on our YouTube channel. So make sure to tune in after the big Dynamite from Arthur Ashe Stadium, right afterwards. Tune in live to YouTube as we will be doing our first ever live broadcast of Lost in the Midcard for episode 300, a special episode. We won't always go live, but this is going to be a special one. So we're going to do that. And that'll be available on our YouTube channel. So search for Lost in the Midcard on YouTube, and you'll be able to tune into that. The podcast version of next week's show, and of course, as always, any other show is also available. Just search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit the subscribe button on what you see as the new feed. You may see a couple of feeds when you search for Lost in the Midcard. Make sure you select new feed so you are locked into the new feed for our podcast and never miss an episode there. The links to everything are on our website, litmcpodcast.com, or our Facebook, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, or Twitter at LITMC Podcast. I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime, or at JB Huskers. I stole Matt's Twitter this week. Find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. I've been talking a lot today. It's been a long day, but my co-host, as always, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Crazy night of wrestling, and we still got Rampage on Friday, but my mind's already looking to next week.
My God. You think they're stacking that Arthur Ashe show?
It's a pay-per-view, dude.
Yeah, both nights.
It's a free fucking pay-per-view.
Basically, both nights. Dynamite on Wednesday and Rampage on Friday are stacked. It's so stacked. Rampage is going to be 2 hours on Friday. So it's going to be a big week for AEW. That's for damn sure. We had yet another tremendous edition of Monday night we had another tremendous edition of AEW tonight. Monday Night Raw was actually good for a change. And lots of good shit, pal. I just realized I did not watch Rampage last week yet. I'm gonna have to catch that here sometime. Catch up on the DVR here. What did you think of Pac and Andrade, Matt?
I thought it was a really good match. I thought the finish was kind of lame, but I mean, it was obviously done because they've just removed Chavo from the story. So,
gee, who's gonna replace Chavo?
Play the sound.
You knew where I was going.
There you go. Yeah, clearly they're gonna bring him in.
Hey, I got new sound on the board. Adam Cole, baby. You can barely, it's pretty loud. The crowd is pretty loud because, well, the crowd is fucking nuts for that debut of Adam Cole, baby. Maybe I'll find a better version. We'll see, but that'll work for now. I had Britt Baker and Rebel and Jamie Hayter taking on Ruby Soho, Chris Statlander and Riho. Max Caster taking on Brian Pillman Jr. And that was your Rampage for the week there. I'm going to catch up on that here soon. Dynamite was yet another tremendous edition of Dynamite, which literally happened just minutes after we have started recording here. So we kicked things off right away with CM Punk and the crowd going nuts. Punk on commentary. I thought no surprise to anyone that knows that he's been doing this in MMA and whatnot, but no surprise, Matt, that Punk was pretty damn good on the commentary table tonight, was he?
It's like he never left. One of my favorite parts of Raw was when he used to, back in the day when he was injured, he was on the commentary table.
Yeah.
My God, he is
Yeah.
he's so good at everything that he does. And I knew they were eventually going to do a Taz thing tonight. I knew he wasn't going to be there the whole 2 hours, but I fucking wish he would have been.
Right.
Because his commentary was it's just fucking tremendous.
Yeah. It's like anytime you don't have an angle or a match for him, just fucking put him on the commentary table and we'll be happy. Some great lines from CM Punk too during commentary. I thought there were some good zingers by Punk there. Some great lines. Of course, he brought up the Suzuki incident, which was trending on Twitter, thanks to CM Punk, because he said he was going to kind of explain what happened there. And trying to find. I liked when Taz showed up. He goes, "I didn't know they let any trolls across the bridge." That's one of the great lines from Punk.
Honestly, Punk made me legit laugh out loud several times tonight.
He caught when
he's so fucking quick and witty.
It's
just tremendous.
Dan Lambert, he goes, as if Bobby Heenan had a wardrobe full of affliction. Yeah, Punk had some great lines on there, and worked really well with the guys in the commentary table. So that was a whole lot of fun. We kick things off with Adam Cole's AEW in-ring debut. We're just going to start with that right off the bat. He took on Frankie Kazarian in a pretty damn good opener to kick things off on Dynamite. And Adam Cole grabbing the mic. It's story time with Adam Cole, baby. Talks about 3 guys that have gotten under his skin lately in a Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage. He really should be worried about Marco Stunt and didn't call him out, But he challenges those 3 guys to meet him and the Young Bucks at Grand Slam next week. I believe that is going to be the Friday, the Rampage show of Grand Slam. So that is good. Tony Schiavone and Sammy Guevara with Fuego del Sol, and Fuego is an idiot. He's going to put his car on the line against Miro for the TNT title on Rampage, and I feel an Honda Street Fighter 2 moment coming that car is going to get destroyed, Matt.
Yeah, Fuego's, and Fuego needs to quit while he's ahead.
Right.
And leave fucking Miro alone. You got your damn contract, dude. You're not beating Miro for the fucking TNT title. That's just not fucking happening. So, Fuego's out of his damn mind.
A little bit.
And I thought it was very interesting. No Bucks at all on Dynamite tonight.
No.
I would have expected them to accompany Cole at least, or accompany Omega. We didn't see the Bucks at all.
Yeah, no Bucks.
I'm hoping they're okay.
No Bucks, no Cutler, no Good Brothers.
In this world, anytime, an important wrestler isn't on TV, I instantly have to fucking worry. Because, the fucking state of the world that we're in now. So hopefully they're okay. I mean, okay enough that they decided to book that match for next week, but yeah, just hoping they're all right.
Yeah. I don't know what the deal was there. Maybe just taking a week off from TV. Who knows? MJF coming out with a lot of nuclear heat and doubling down on the comments he made about Pillman's family last week. Talks shit about New Jersey. Throws some shit at Bruce Springsteen, which made John Alba mad. And then, he was going to have a talk with Brian Pillman up in the heavens. He looks down and he goes, "Oh, wait a minute. No, he's probably down here." Another dig at the Pillman family. And Brian Pillman, then his music hit, Pillman Jr.'s music hits. And Wardlow goes up the aisle, but Pillman was outsmarting them and had a chair. And had MJF
smart enough to use the chair immediately.
Nope. Backed MJF into a corner, but Wardlow was able to get back into the ring and stop Pillman. We got a good tag match. A couple of guys that tag with their brothers teamed up. Dante Martin and Matt Sydal. I like how they continuously find ways to get Dante Martin into AEW. I think that's a good idea. So, with Matt Sydal taking on FTR, good little tag match there. Lights go out. Malachi Black shows up with his entrance, cutting a promo. And Rosario Dawson, who of course stars with Cody Rhodes on the Go Big show, and she attacks Malachi Black as then Cody making his big return. Apparently, it was Red Jacket Day on AEW, as both Cody and Tully Blanchard were wearing red jackets on the show. But Cody and Malachi Black fighting in the crowd. I thought that was a good brawl to set up their big match next week. The issues with the Dark Order continue. They fighting on who wants to accompany Anna Jay out. I believe she has a match on Rampage this week. Is that right, Matt? Is that what they were talking about?
Yeah, Anna Jay versus the Bunny.
And she says, "Screw you guys. I'm just gonna have Ty Conti out there with me, and you guys."
Yeah, she basically said, "You guys, you bitches, get your shit together.
Get your shit together,
or I don't want you out there with me.
Get your shit together."
I don't blame her.
Nope. Next up, Dan Lambert with America's Top Team. He's got some MMA backup with him this week, in addition to Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. And he continues to be an angry old man yelling at clouds, which
I'll be really happy when the story's over.
What story?
The whole Dan Lambert thing.
Oh, like, you don't like him?
No, dude, it's fucking it's lame. Like, I look, I see enough Twitter trolls about AEW already. Like, I don't need to see like somebody portraying an AEW Twitter troll on AEW television. Like, it's really fucking annoying. And of all the people that don't need people to talk for them, it's Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. They don't need a fucking mouthpiece. You want to pair Lambert up with somebody who can't fucking talk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Page and Sky are two of the best talkers in the damn company.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not fucking necessary.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I thought it was a lot of a good heat that Lambert brings to the table there. Kind of a surprise that Jericho and Hager answered the challenge of Lambert talking shit about AEW. I guess makes sense. Jericho, one of the original AEW guys, and Hager, an MMA guy himself who was undefeated in the cage. So I guess in essence, it does kind of make some sense. And setting up they
made perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's just literally I don't care to have Lambert on my television. So
sets up a tag match between Page and Sky against Jericho and Hager next week.
and I fail to see how this benefits Page and Sky.
No, they got to win.
Do you really think they're gonna win?
Jericho take the pin.
Yeah.
You don't think he will?
No, it's not that Jericho won't take the pin. I just don't see. I don't see Jericho and then I don't see Jericho losing in New York.
Yeah,
I really don't. It would be great if he did, and like he don't even have to take the pinfall. Let Hager take the damn, pinfall. But like, I just don't see. I don't see them winning next week. I don't see how they're getting any type of benefit, for being paired with Lambert right now.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like I said, if you're gonna put Lambert with somebody, put Lambert with somebody who can't talk.
The benefit is they're on TV every week at least. So,
we're just standing there looking like goofs, and they get lost in the freaking shuffle because there's so many people out there with Lambert every week.
Yeah, well, last week
they're not front and center in the spotlight or anything.
Last couple of weeks haven't had the MMA guys out there, but tonight they did.
Well, the last couple of weeks they've been in like luxury boxes, and they've still had MMA guys up there with them.
Jade Cargill, her toughest test to date, taking on legit Layla Hirsch. Pretty good match there, with Jade remaining undefeated. Taz walking up to Punk at the commentary table. Then Hook gets in Punk's face, and then Hobbs attacks from behind with wearing some sweet FTW bibs. And Hook putting a dragon sleeper on Punk as Hobbs continues to attack Punk while in the submission hold. And then Hobbs sends Punk through the announce table, which is something they don't do much on AEW. So when it happens, it's important. Sean Spears taking on Darby Allin. Damn good one-on-one match with those two guys. With Darby getting the win there. And
I thought it was a real good match.
Yeah. And FTW coming out later on.
You just call them FTW.
Or FTR. Whoops.
You better not let Taz hear you say that.
Yeah.
He'll come after you, brother.
Survive if I let you.
Out, brother.
It's easy to confuse the two. FTR getting some work in. They had a match. I said it's because it's easy to confuse because they have the same first two letters. Dummy. Yeah. So they attack, and then of course you're teasing Tully and Sting showdown. But then they FTR, little spike pile driver on Sting. Matt Hardy vows to shave Orange Cassidy's head. That would look interesting. Main event time, Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston come out to a huge ovation, taking on 2.0. After they dispose of 2.0, Suzuki comes out, and we get to hear the song, the whole song, and nothing but the whole song. And right as great timing would have it, as the song ends, Lance Archer comes out and attacks Kingston, and we get a brawl to end AEW. And well, Matt, yet another fun AEW, was it not?
I thought it was a great show. Very, very enjoyable, very fun. It blew by.
Oh, wow.
And I am just so fucking looking forward to, the double shows next week.
Man, 4 hours of AEW next week. Let's start with Wednesday. Oh, we didn't bring this up in the recap because it wasn't in the recap for some reason. I don't know why, but hey, I can't afford people to do a recap for me. I just got to steal other people's recaps. What'd you think about Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega's promo tonight, Matt?
My God, pal.
How many times can you say shit in a promo? And
as many times as you fucking want.
Including the crowd. And then Renee Paquette getting in on the fun on Twitter, chanting piece of shit as well. So I can't wait for her to be on AEW television somewhere. By the way, her non-compete is free and clear. And she made an appearance on BT this week. Accidental appearance, but nonetheless. They 2.0 challenged her for the BT belt, and she said he didn't want any of this. So, yeah, that's kind of funny. All right. Here is the stacked two-nighter at Arthur Ashe. Wednesday, Kenny Omega, Bryan Danielson, not for the title, it says, but for the first time. Dream match right there. This is for the title. AEW Women's Champion Britt Baker against Ruby Soho. I don't think that Omega and Danielson's for the title, is it? They haven't really said one way or another.
No, it's non-title.
I thought so. CM Punk will have an interview. Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston take on Suzuki and Archer. MJF taking on Brian Pillman. I thought the sit down with Brian Pillman and JR was really good. I think Brian has really been coming into his own this year as a talker. So as a promo guy, I think Brian's done a hell of a job. And I think they've done a good job building up this feud with MJF. And of course, Cody Rhodes and Malachi Black. Fridays, Rampage, 2 hours from New York City. So far announced CM Punk against Will Hobbs, FTR against Sting and Darby Allin, Christian Cage and Jurassic Express against the Young Bucks and Adam Cole, Chris Jericho, Jake Hager against Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. A fucking loaded 2 nights next week that we'll talk about. NXT 2.0 is here. Matt, what were your overall thoughts on 2.0 last night?
It was a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Some of it was good, some of it was not good at all, and some of it was kind of just there.
Way too many forced debuts last night. Way too many. We'll get it.
Look, I was okay with it to a point until they put
Von Wagner
in the fucking essentially the main event match for the fucking championship.
He got like zero.
That's when I crossed the line. I'm like,
he had zero. Nobody cared.
Enough of this shit.
Nobody cared. He had zero reaction when he came to the ring.
And they literally took out like arguably probably a lot of people's favorite in that match in that arena.
Yeah.
And you just take him out of the fucking match. Like,
so
if anybody should have been removed from the match, it should have been LA Knight who fucking lost the open contest.
Yeah. I thought
should have been like, all right, you lost. You're not getting the title shot now. I'm going to put this jobber in here instead. At least that would have made more sense to what they did.
I thought Breakker was actually going to help LA Knight win the title after beating him. I just thought of that this irony thing.
God, that would have been so dumb.
I like the look of the arena. I like the white, a little brighter. Oddly enough, I was talking to Jose Gonzalez on Sportskeeda's Top Story today. He was there live. He said, it's brighter. You see the people, but actually there's less seats than the old CWC, which is weird because it looks like there's a lot more people in the crowd, but it's actually seating less people than the old CWC did, which I thought was interesting. Of course, it was dark. You couldn't see most of the people, so that makes sense. Now it gets a bigger feel. So I kind of like that look. I just wish they would shut off the entranceway during matches because that thing is so fucking bright. Why have it on during a match? I don't know.
I think it's entirely too bright for the size of the venue.
Yeah.
Because I think it really shines a light on the fact that it looks like they're wrestling in a high school gym.
Yeah. I don't mind the white.
And I feel like when the lights are lower, you don't have that same feeling. Mm-hmm. But when it's nice and bright, like it really shines the fact that you're in like a rinky dink,
bingo hall.
Like it feels like even smaller than a bingo hall, to be perfectly honest.
I like the light. I like the lighting and I like the walls. I just shut off the damn entrance way during a match.
I thought the lighting looked the best at the start of the show when the lights were down and they were doing all the like the lighting effects and everything.
Yeah.
And once they brightened the venue up, I'm like, I'm not liking this based on the size of the venue. Like not because like if they would have brightened up Full Sail, I think it might have been better than brighten this place up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good look.
Fortunately, WWE
for a WWE. It's not a good look for a WWE product that's nationally televised on the USA Network every week.
And unfortunately, WWE ended its relationship with Full Sail, so yeah.
I can't even begin to understand.
So yeah, the show starts with Braun Breaker, who like literally a day before had his name changed to Rex Steiner, and then Vince changed it again. So Vince changed this guy's name twice in a week. I heard there's a lot of changes in the past 24 hours leading up to this NXT.
Yeah, I heard the script was changed a ton.
And the women's title match got pulled with no explanation.
Which is kind of ironic because there was only one person on the NXT roster that was trumpeting the new rebranding era of this freaking show, and that was Frankie Monet, and she got booted off the damn show. So I would imagine she feels kind of dumb now. But what can you do?
LA Knight challenged by Braun Breaker to a match where you're like, wait a minute, LA Knight's in the main event. Why is he wrestling the opening contest?
This made no sense. You can't tell me you didn't have several other bodies there.
And then he gets beat in 4 minutes. So like, I must mean LA Knight's winning. But Vic Joseph mentioning that Braun had a dog-faced gremlin mentality. I see what you did there, Vic. Imperium took on Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs. Looks like a watered down version of Beer Money. Imperium with the will in there. B-Fab in-ring debut taking on Sin Cara's wife, I think. Is it wife? I can't remember. Katarina Cortez. Quick match there. B-Fab getting the win. And then she gets in a little spat with Elektra Lopez. They showed Johnny Gargano, Cameron Grimes, and Odyssey Jones getting ready for the wedding. And it's the return of Austin Theory, and he didn't come alone. He brought he brought a priest with him, Damian Priest, who's there for the party. Obviously, because he didn't show up at the wedding. So Carmelo Hayes interview and introduces his new running mate, Trick Williams. And I thought this was a decent promo. And Trick getting a little physical with Duke Hudson. Some impressive moves by Trick. I kind of like this little pairing with Trick and Mello. I think it was one of the debuts that made sense to me last night, Matt.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oddly enough, they're attacking Duke Hudson, who acts like a heel, and these guys are acting like a heel. So this must have been one of those last minute things Vince put together, don't you think?
Wouldn't surprise me. Not one bit.
So yeah, they beat up Duke Hudson. Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter taking on Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. In the middle of the match, Mandy Rose comes out, causes a disqualification, takes off the hoodie, and lo and behold, she is no longer blonde. She is a brunette. And then Saray comes out to even it up the match, and Teddy Long came out to Orlando and goes, "We got a 6-woman tag match, playa." That Mandy Rose gets the pin on Carter there for the Bad Girls. They got a name. I forget what it was called now. It was either post-match interview or on Twitter. Mandy unveiled the name of the group finally. And it is called who? Toxic Attraction is the name of the group. Toxic Attraction. Let's see here. Trying to see if I found anything on the Raquel and Frankie, but yep. Don't know what's going on there. So it says Frankie was backstage and Raquel was on the bump, so it's not COVID. Just Vince tearing up the script last minute. So Ridge Holland and Pete Dunne had attacked Kyle O'Reilly backstage, and then they announced the groundbreaking announcement by William Regal that Von Wagner, the guy that saved Kyle O'Reilly, is going to replace him in the match. And boy, I did not see anybody excited about that in on the internets at all. Matt, you?
Nope.
Ridge Holland killed Drake Maverick. Ciampa interviewed by Mackenzie Mitchell saying it's been 908 days since he held gold. I can't believe it's been that damn long since Ciampa had to relinquish his title. The Creed brothers. I like the Creed brothers, Matt. They do some unique things and they just beat the shit out of people. I like them. What do you think so far?
They're fine. Look, they're ass kickers. I mean, but they're going to need a bigger gimmick than ass kicking. So
there was a lot of forced debuts, but they should have maybe gone the way of the vignette a little more. I liked because I liked what they did with Tony D'Angelo, kind of a mob type of character from Chicago. I thought it was a decent little promo vignette that he did there. So, you know, maybe they could have done a little more of these than just force debut a bunch of guys tonight. Speaking of the Creed brothers in the Diamond Mine, they debuted a woman in the group because you got to have a woman in a stable in NXT, right, Matt?
I don't see a problem with that.
Nope. Ivy Nile, who is ripped. I think she's a former MMA fighter. They also mentioned she was on the Titan Games, Rock's little show there on NBC. Kushida also came out and set up the match next week against Roderick Strong for the Cruiserweight Championship. Supposed to happen a few weeks ago, but Kushida came down with COVID, so now he's all ready to go. Fatal 4 match, LA Knight, Von Wagner, Pete Dunne, Tommaso Ciampa. I thought it was a pretty good match, and I'm very happy that it's back on Ciampa again.
For however long it may be.
We thought it'd be obvious that Dunn would get it since he re-signed earlier in the week, right? So I'm kind of glad they didn't go with the obvious, at least. And then we got the wedding, and I absolutely thought the wedding was great. Matt, what did you think?
I thought it was entertaining for what it was, and it was nice for once that there was no shenanigans that
there's actually a wedding
from actually happening. So yeah, like about as good of a win as you're gonna get.
I saw somebody post on Twitter that the actual swerve was the wedding actually happened. Oh man. And Dexter putting when the priest asks or the official or whatever you want to call him asked if anybody objects to the this marriage, and everybody objected, and then Dexter brandishing an axe, so that kind of quieted him down. And then Dexter didn't want to give his vows because man doesn't speak, and so he just put the official in, put him to sleep, and lo and behold, Beth Phoenix was got ordained online, so she continued officiating the wedding. A lot of people thought Damian Priest was going to come out, maybe he got ordained or something, but nope, it was Beth Phoenix. And Indy says I do, and then Dexter actually speaks. He says I do, to a big pop from the crowd. They kiss, they're pronounced husband and wife, and a lot of fun. So I liked the wedding. It was a lot of fun, and we end the first episode of NXT 2.0 with old Braun Breaker staring down Tommaso Ciampa. So they're definitely putting the rocket up his ass, aren't they, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason, if you're going to push somebody, you might as well push somebody that seems seemingly good.
Yeah.
So I just wish they'd space it out a little bit instead of trying to throw everybody at you at once.
Yeah, they did a lot of throwing at you. SmackDown opened up with a great 9/11 video, then the Bloodline coming out. Lesnar, his music hits, and got in Roman's face, and holy shit chant. And Lesnar stirring the pot, asking Paul why he didn't tell Roman that he was going to be at SummerSlam, and the crowd with a "you fucked up" chant. Heyman has been good throughout this whole thing. And good stuff there. Of course, MSG was the scene, so the crowd was hot for it all. And Lesnar picked up Heyman on his shoulders to give him an F5. Roman Reigns hits a Superman punch. Lesnar got a hold of Reigns, but Usos with some super kicks. Lesnar comes back with some clotheslines and some Germans, and that was the end of that hot segment there. We got Big E, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Nakamura, and Rick Boogs taking on Apollo Crews, Otis, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, Sami Zayn in a 10-man tag. Trae Young, basketball star, also showing up for the Atlanta Hawks. Of course, he got into it with a lot of fans in New York during the playoffs. The good guys get the win there. We got a contract signing with Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. Becky wearing a very obnoxious coat as they really work hard to try to make her a heel. What'd you think of that contract signing, Matt?
It was fine. I mean, I'm not big overall on contract signings. I feel like they're kind of
overdone.
They're kind of done to death at this point.
What are you thinking on this whole heel persona of Becky? Is it working or no?
I think it's going to depend from town to town.
Yeah.
I mean, some towns I think it's going to work in, and some towns I think they're going to be like, nah, fuck you. We're going to cheer Becky no matter what you try to do. So
Edge come out to a huge pop. We got Edge, Seth Rollins, another great match between those two. Went about 23 minutes. Seth Rollins getting the win there by hitting that actual stomp, and they playing it off with as Rollins hits the stomp on the injured neck of Edge. It's a devastating thing, so they played that off, all giving Rollins the win there. Tremendous match there. EMTs show up for Edge. Put the Edge in the back of the ambulance, and Seth Rollins acting a little despondent. Doesn't says maybe he doesn't feel anything at all. Kind of interesting quote there. They continue the tension with the Usos and Reigns and Heyman. Poor Paul. SmackDown Tag Team Championships, Usos and Street Profits was a pretty good match. Ended in a disqualification though, with Roman Reigns breaking up the match. And then he cuts a promo talking about as soon as he gets done smashing Brock Lesnar, he's going to smash he's going to smash Brock Lesnar after he gets done smashing Finn Balor. Of course, we got the tease of the red lights last week, and sure enough, the Demon comes out. Do you think bringing back the Demon is yet another thing of WWE trying to answer AEW at this point, Matt?
I don't know. I think it's a terrible idea if they're going to use him to just job out the Roman.
Right.
I think the Fiend is the Demon is the most protected part of Balor's character.
There's nothing protected about the Fiend.
Well, you know what I meant.
I know.
And if they're bringing him out literally just to job the Roman at the pay-per-view, I think that's a terrible idea.
Do you think there's a chance in hell he wins?
I don't know, man. There's always a chance, but I don't know.
Lesnar could fuck it up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see.
Monday Night Raw starts off with Big E, Randy Orton, and Bobby Lashley. Of course, Big E earlier in the day. Again, WWE trying to stack the deck here, especially going against Monday Night Football for the first time. When we get to the ratings, you'll find out that really didn't work. But Big E called his shot, saying he's going to cash in his Money in the Bank contract. He did that right before noon on Twitter on Monday. So good segment with Big E talking to Lashley and to Orton, and pretty good. Thought it was a pretty good segment, good opening segment. They explained why Orton's and Lashley's title match got pushed up from Extreme Rules. Well, because they wanted to try to pad the ratings on Monday. I mean, he got beat in the demo by Dynamite. Now you're going to be facing Monday Night Football. So Vince really tried to pull out all the stops on Monday, which of course did not work for ratings wise, at least. Charlotte Flair took on Shayna Baszler in a contenders match. Pretty good match, I thought, with but then we got the obvious Nia Jax distraction thing to continue that story with Shayna Baszler. So then Alexa Bliss comes out and has a present for Charlotte, and it's a doll of Charlotte called Charlie, which actually I kind of laughed. I've never been really a fan of the whole Lily thing, but I did kind of chuckle at Charlie, so to speak. And Bliss, the line that she said when she opened up her gift was great. That everybody needs a friend, even a narcissistic, self-absorbed bitch like you. Crowd popped at that one too. Good line. Obviously, the crowd popping for Bliss, so they're probably hoping that she takes the title off Charlotte at Extreme Rules. Which, I mean, it's not like Charlotte has long reign, so it wouldn't be a surprise, right, Matt?
I would. It certainly wouldn't shock me if that's what they're going to do. So.
Drew, Eric, and Ivar took on Jinder, Veer, and Shanky, and that lasted 3 minutes. Hey, we got a New Day reunion backstage. That was fun to see those guys back together again. We got a little 24/7 shenanigans followed by Jeff Hardy Even though he gets booked like shit, still getting a good pop from the crowd. Of course, we got the No More Words song back too. And apparently Drew's old theme's coming back soon as well. So that'll be good to hear. How funny was it, Matt, that we're sitting here going, why the fuck is Jeff Hardy doing this 24/7 shit? And now all of a sudden, because that, don't you think that that reaction led to putting Hardy in this match, Matt?
It very well could be related.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would come down to us believing that WWE's all of a sudden listening to their audience. So I don't know. It would be nice if they were. I'd really appreciate it.
Right. Good match though with Priest and Hardy, wasn't it? And Sheamus.
I thought it was all right. I didn't think it was. It was fine for what
good.
It was.
It was a good TV match, I thought. Then Sheamus attacking Priest afterwards. This is this up to that point, I thought Raw was doing really, really good, but then I thought it slowed way the fuck down when they started doing the women's tag matches with Tamina and Nikki ASH and Natalya and Rhea. Natalya and Rhea had a pretty good match, but it just felt like Raw just drugged down a notch, and I think the crowd wasn't reacting to this either, and that probably played a big part in it. Did it feel like that started to drag down for you around that point?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely points of the show that the show dragged, but I mean, that's a 3-hour Raw. I mean, come to expect that.
AJ Styles almost Mason T-Bar took on Mansoor, Mustafa Ali, and Kingston and Xavier Woods. Kind of funny seeing Mansoor dancing with the New Day. The bad guys get the win here. Omos getting a big pop though every time he gets in the ring though, so that guy's kind of over. Doudrop dispatched to Eva Marie rather quickly. I was kind of happy though. Eva Marie was actually fighting in this match. So that was kind of a first. Congrats to Doudrop, by the way, who just recently got married as well. Backstage vignette with Karrion Kross. I thought this was really good. And I saw a lot of, I don't know about you, Matt, but I saw a lot of people on the internet go, why didn't they do this in the beginning with Kross? Instead of, well, obviously having him lose in his debut to 3 minutes, but
and look, they're still going to bring him out in the fucking gladiator bullshit.
Yeah.
So, and until they get rid of that, they give him Scarlet back. I don't give a flying fuck.
Hey, Matt, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know.
Yeah, just ripping off Sean O'Hare's gimmick. Good job with that. I guess they thought it was long enough that fans wouldn't be watching it anymore that remembered that gimmick.
Oh no, I saw lots of people say that.
No, I'm telling you, that's what WWE thought.
I know. I think we have memories as long as 6 months ago.
It would be a lot better for them if we did.
Good main event, though. Picked back up with the main event. Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton delivered. I thought that was really good. Lashley winning in about 15 minutes and doing some attacks on Riddle and such afterwards. Lashley selling his leg. He's limping around, and that's when Big E's music hits, the crowd going wild. The cash-in is official. Well, not at first. Lashley didn't want to fight. He was going to bitch out, but then Big E slapped the taste out of his mouth, and Lashley said, "Ring the bell." And got a couple of minutes of action, some near falls, and then the big ending, the 1 and the 2 and the 3, Big E getting the win. And what a moment was it, Matt? That was just a great moment, wasn't it?
Great moments are what we're all about, brother.
Long 12-year journey for Big E. Of course, he was an NXT champion long ago, and now finally a world champion within the WWE. New Day came out to celebrate, and as we went off the air, what a tremendous moment for Big E, and a lot of fun there at the end. With everybody loves a good cash in too, so that was good.
Yeah, look, there's few people that have gotten that briefcase over the years that deserved it more than Big E. So the fact that he got to cash it in on a night like that is pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. I wish it would have gotten a little more build for him. A little more hype. So more people would have tuned in. Yeah. I still think if the end game always was to have Big E beat Lashley for the title, they should have done it. They should have done it at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
They could have had Goldberg face somebody else. He didn't need to face Lashley.
No.
I think the pop for Big E in front of that giant crowd at SummerSlam would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But better late than never. I really hope he gets to keep that title for a good long time, and
Hopefully.
I hope WWE doesn't, pout over the ratings this week, because at the end of the day, the highest quarter on that 3-hour show was Big E winning that title.
Yep.
And that never fucking happens in the third hour of that show.
No.
So.
And you're never going to beat the NFL.
No, they did it back in the day when they were more popular.
Yeah. Big news of the week was that's due to medical whatever, I don't know. Samoa Joe had to relinquish the NXT title. I think it's all kayfabe. Some reports are kind of pointing that to kayfabe as well, because according to Meltzer, the original plan was not to have Joe wrestle hardly at all. But the feud with Cross was so hot, and they had to take the title off of Cross. They kind of painted themselves into a corner. So I think that Joe's not really hurt, but it was just not intended for him to wrestle. So I don't know. What do you think, Matt? Do you think it's kayfabe, or do you think it's real?
I want it to be kayfabe, because my God, I don't want him to be hurt again.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I honestly don't know. I want to refrain from, really speculating on something like that until we have more information. I hope he's okay. At the end of the day, that's what I care about most. I just hope Joe's okay.
And boy, we are not for a lack of contract news from Fightful Select, are we, Matt? Johnny Gargano's WWE contract is expiring soon. So not only Kevin Owens, not only Sami Zayn, but the NXT Triple Crown winner, Johnny Gargano, his contract is up December 3rd of this year. Oh boy, Matt. Do you think he leaves, or does he resign?
I think he's in the perfect position to see what NXT is about to become over the next 2 months, and he can make a well-educated decision from there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody in a better spot.
Get the fuck out
to determine his own future than Johnny Gargano.
Get the fuck out while you can.
He damn well knows he's not long for the main roster.
No.
He knows that it's not going to go well up there.
No.
He can look and see what happens to NXT from now until like mid-November and make up his mind by then. He has 2 months that he can just survey the landscape and determine what he wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, I said it all before this whole bullshit 2.0 thing started. I said, well, with this being such a brand on NXT now, I could see Gargano and Ciampa being lifetime NXT guys, but now that's up in the air. So yeah, I did mention Sami Zayn earlier in the week. Fightful Select had put out an article that Sami Zayn's deal ends in let's see here. Well, they were told that it was ending in the fall of 2021, but then they said that it's not up in the fall. Zayn has not commented either. But don't be surprised if Owens and Zayn show up together somewhere down the line, right, Matt?
Yeah, we look at the end of the day. There's 2 things we know for sure about Sami Zayn's deal at the moment, and it's one, it's up soon.
Yeah,
like we know that much. The Sami Zayn's contract is up soon. We also know from Fightful that it's not up this fall, so you would assume that it's up in the winter. And, at that point, the winter could very much fall upon the same time that, sorry, I'm killing the spider.
kill that spider.
Yeah, I'm killing the fucking spider.
Damn heel.
Look, stay out of my fucking room and you won't have to worry about dying.
Damn spider being a heel, trying to get that run in.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck was I saying? I'm sorry.
Oh, we're talking about Sami.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, we know his deal's up soon. We know it's not up in the fall, which possibly means it's up in the wintertime. If it's up in the wintertime, that could fall along the same time frame of Kevin Owens' expired deal, which is at the end of January. So if I'm AEW, I am going out of my fucking way to make sure that I have an AEW Dynamite scheduled for Montreal in February of 2022. And I am bringing the cavalry with me. And look, even if they decide that, even if let's say for some reason KO and Salmon decide to resign and stay with WWE. Even if they did that, AEW still needs to get up into Canada in front of those fans anyway. So it's not like it'll be a total loss if they do Canada in February and they don't have, KO and Sami Zayn. They still have fucking, a bunch of people there that are from Canada. They got Jericho. They've got Omega. They'll be fine.
I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot.
Well, it doesn't matter they're still from fucking Canada.
Oh, I'm
so
talking
still
about
fucking work.
Christian. I'm talking about the classic line of Jericho.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. And they got Christian too. So I mean, there's there's probably Ethan Page is from Canada.
Got Renee Paquette.
A bunch of Canadian boys there.
Got Renee Paquette.
Yeah, Renee might be doing work with AEW by February.
You could easily. Because Dasha's doing Spanish commentary for Dynamite, so and Alex Marvez is easily replaced. I'm just saying. There's room for Renee backstage. Even more contract news, Matt. You believe it? Johnny Gargano's wife, Candice LeRae, her deal is up sometime in 2022. And she may be trying to stretch being on camera for as long as she can, even though she's pregnant, because then that contract timing cannot get frozen. So sometime in 2022, Candice LeRae could be either re-signing with Johnny Gargano or following him out the door. All these contracts, Matt. What are you? We ain't done yet. Are we trying to say winter is coming, Matt, for WWE?
Man, winter already came and Sting King showed up.
Oh man! So, and did you catch the party's farewell video today?
I thought it was great.
Oh,
I thought it was absolutely great.
Loved it.
I thought it was the perfect way to say goodbye for now, essentially. Yep. And I look. I don't know when. I don't know how. But we're gonna see those four dudes together playing Uno again, and it's gonna be glorious. Like, it's gonna fucking happen. Like, yep. People might not see it now. But I really and truly believe it that we're going to see those four. We're going to see the party together again. Yeah, they're going to be playing Uno together again, and it's going to be great.
That video on Twitter got 134,000 views on Twitter. That's pretty good. Yeah, great video came out from Austin Creed today, September 15th, around noon. So go check it out. A great little 3-minute goodbye. With all four guys, Chugs is in there too and everything. So speaking of Adam Cole, he made the decision to join AEW just days before All Out. He competed at TakeOver 36 against Kyle O'Reilly. Contract expired August 27th. So just days before, he said he decided. He said he was awake in bed. It was close to 1 a.m, and he was imagining being involved with AEW as he was talking with Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated. He goes, "That thought gave me such an excited feeling. I was so giddy I couldn't even sleep. I loved the idea of coming to All Elite Wrestling, and that's when I knew what I needed to do." He goes, he didn't even fly into Chicago for All Out. He flew into a different city the day before and wore a mask to hide his appearance on flight, and didn't even stay at the same hotel as Bryan Danielson, and waited outside a trailer. So the locker room didn't even know until the absolute last moment either. So they kind of did the old secret treatment with Adam Cole for All Out in that tremendous debut that he made. Big E was on the bump today and stated that he wants to see the Hurt Business back and have them battle the New Day. And I believe MVP either answered it or mentioned the Hurt Business himself on Twitter or Instagram. And so I have a feeling the that great faction of the Hurt Business might be coming back together here very soon. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
If they do it, I want it to be like Hurt Business 2.0.
Everything's 2.0 now.
Well, like, look, like no pun intended. Like the next generation. Like I want
Odyssey Jones.
Throw fucking Keith Lee in there.
Keith Lee, Odyssey Jones. There'd be some meat in that baby.
Well, look, I'm not saying don't bring Cedric and Shelton back, but I'm saying bring somebody else new in too. Make it feel fresher than it did before. Yeah. I think you take those three men and you add a Keith Lee to it.
Yeah.
And I think it could be something, pretty fucking special.
Well, there were reports that at dark matches they were testing Keith Lee being heel.
That's exactly why I mentioned Keith Lee. So he hasn't been on TV in forever. And look, if he has to be a heel to get on television and get a push, then fucking turn him heel.
Even more contract news, this time good news for WWE, as Pete Dunne has agreed to a contract of 3 years in length. That was confirmed by WWE sources to Fightful Select on Tuesday. So all the talk, everybody leaving, at least they get somebody back for the 2.0. So I saw this article on Fightful. Of course, Tasha Steelz was one half of the former Knockouts Tag Team Champions with Kara Hogan on Impact Wrestling. WWE wanted her to be a referee. I think she made the right decision of turning that down.
Kara Hogan to be a referee, Adam Cole to be a manager.
Tasha Steelz to be a referee in WWE.
Okay. Well, that would have been just as dumb.
Yeah.
They probably would ask Kara Hogan to be a damn manager too. I don't understand the thought process this company's making lately. I really don't.
Right.
It's kind of sad. Look, I love WWE, man. I get without WWE, I wouldn't be a wrestling fan. Like I grew up on this company, and to just see it in the state that it's in right now, like. It makes me really sad. It really does.
Vince needed to go a decade ago.
I would love him to just step aside and let someone else run the damn thing, but it's not going to happen. Like he's taken over everything now. He's even taken over NXT for fuck's sake. Like he's not going anywhere.
Shut up. Renee Paquette has a new venture with Misha Tate called Throwing Down with Renee Paquette and Misha Tate. Ricky Starks was on the show and put kayfabe aside and put over CM Punk about how helpful he has been backstage. He says it's been great having Punk backstage. I know that he's a hard worker, and backstage he's mindful of everyone in their matches and making sure he talks to them and critiques them. He's very approachable too. Having Punk back there is a big morale boost. So pretty cool for Ricky Starks to put Punk over there and putting kayfabe aside, just to mention how big Punk is for the company. Some of those guys started probably wrestling because of Punk, didn't they?
Dude, I mean, he's I know some people roll their eyes or whatever, but he's essentially a fucking legend in that locker room. Like that says a lot. Like a lot of the people in that locker room decided they wanted to become a professional wrestler because of CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for him to be there, for him to be able to, help the young guys and also, do his own thing, it's fucking incredible.
Mm-hmm. Some awesome news out of Impact Wrestling. Gail Kim and Christy Hemme coming back to the company announced that we will have an all knockout special on Impact Plus this October 9th called Knockouts Knockdown. The matches will be taped in Nashville around the 16th to the 18th of September and airing on Impact Plus October 9th.
They got Mercedes Martinez for that. Be the first we've seen her since her NXT release. So that's a big get. If I'm Impact, I'm not letting her go either.
Nope.
Like, I'm not doing this as like a one-time deal. Like, I'm adding her to our division.
Yeah.
I think Impact would be insane not to.
Gable Steveson says his deal with the WWE is 3 years and thinks he'll go straight to the main roster.
I think he's out of his fucking mind.
Yeah. Not everybody can be Kurt Angle. Even Kurt Angle did some indies and developmental before he got over to the main roster. So,
from my understanding, his full-time 3-year deal doesn't kick in until May of 2022. So
he can still wrestle, but do the NIL deal.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is what they're doing is they're setting up a facility by the campus of Minnesota for him to fucking train at.
Yeah.
While he's still up there in school. Like, he doesn't even have to report to the PC.
Yeah.
Like, immediately, So I'm just wondering if maybe WWE is of the opinion of, we can work you out for, 8 or 9 months in this remote training facility, and that's going to be enough to
be ready
allow
for the
you to
main
bypass
roster.
NXT and come right into the main roster.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious if that's what they've told him.
Maybe.
Because to me, like, why the fuck would he say that if they weren't telling him that?
Yeah.
It's one thing to run your mouth when you're not under a contract, but it's another thing to run your mouth, when you're locked into a deal. So I'd like to believe that he's just repeating what he's been told, because if not, like, you're gonna rub some people the wrong way right off the get-go.
Young Bucks filed a trademark for SuperClick and promptly used it on Dynamite tonight. They
wasted
used.
No time to bring that name back.
That's coming up on a T-shirt soon at PWT's Shop AEW, huh? Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised it's not already there. I'm gonna go look right now.
Andrew Zarian from Matman Radio has confirmed that the finals of both the King and Queen of the Ring will be in Saudi Arabia this October.
Not yet, but I surely believe that it's going to it's going to be there.
Yeah. Speaking of trademarks, WWE filed one for Brock Lesnar, Eat, Sleep, Conquer, Repeat, for merchandising purposes. They also filed a trademark for WWE Evil. Very nice, very evil WWE. Which is actually...
I can't imagine Dan Housen's very happy about that.
WWE Evil is actually the name of an upcoming series on Peacock where John Cena will host as the narrator and producer of the series. I don't know what the series is about, though. I don't know if they've said either. Kenny King thinks it's time for Ring of Honor and WWE to open forbidden doors. Why not?
I think there's a very good chance we'll see Ring of Honor doing something along those lines within the next 6 months, but I don't see WWE ever doing it as long as Vince McMahon's in charge.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he's never done it before, but it's rarely been done.
I feel like the last time they did it was when they brought Liger in for that NXT match against Tyler Breeze.
Yeah. And then
that was a Triple H deal. That wasn't anything to do with Vince.
No, they had that ECW thing before the invasion. They did that ECW thing
and that was when Vince was desperate.
97, yeah.
Because he was desperate to do anything to catch attention away from WCW at that point.
Yeah.
Plus, he was also secretly funding, ECW at that point too.
Mm-hmm.
So he had financial, interests in bringing that product onto his television screen for a time because he was secretly funneling money into that company.
Were they both on TNN at the time? Or was they still
no. TNN They
later.
were ECW wasn't even on TNN at that point. They were on like like UPN at like 1 a.m. in the morning on a fucking Friday night or some shit. So
Tony Khan says AEW All Out pulled in 200,000 pay-per-views buys. That ain't bad, is it, Matt? If I read right, I can't remember the exact number, but that outsold 5 of the last 7 WWE pay-per-views before the network. Not bad, huh?
not bad at all, pal.
A great story, especially after what had happened to Shad Gaspard in Destin, Florida, where one of my good friends was actually just down there a few days ago. Al Snow saving a boy from an ocean riptide made news everywhere, TMZ and everything like that. And really cool, just really cool to see Al Snow do a heroic deed to save a kid, because lifeguard was not going to make it in time, and he noticed that, so he jumped in and saved him. Tremendous job there. I guess WWE 2K22 is a thing, and the return of GM mode. Are you excited, Matt?
I'd be excited if I could confirm it, but I've not been able to confirm it yet. So
GM mode?
Yeah.
Oh, why is it being reported then?
It's being reported because somebody who's leaked a bunch of 2K news reported it. This is not an official. This is not an official report from 2K. So
I see.
It very well could be right. Everything else this guy said, I could verify from the people that I've spoken with.
Yeah.
Like everything that he's reported, like over the past like month or whatever, all true. It's all true. But I've not been able to confirm the GM mode story.
Okay.
I know at one point GM mode was being worked on for 2K22, but I don't know if it made the cut. Because you got to understand, there's so many things that they work on every year that they get to a point where they're like, all right, we're not going to get this done in time. We need to sit this to the side and come back to it next year. And that's a situation for something along the lines of War Games, for example. I know they were working on War Games for 2K22, but my understanding is they didn't get done in time, and they were like, all right, this is going to take up too much time. We need to fix other things and get other things, up to stuff. Let's set aside this and we'll revisit it, for 2K23. And hell, for all I know, this additional 7 to 8 months they got to do this game. Hell, maybe they'll go back to war. Maybe they'll be like, hey, maybe we can't put War Games in here. But months ago, the plan was we're gonna side it, we're gonna put it off to the side, and we're gonna worry about it, the following year.
Yeah.
But I mean that's just the type of thing that they do with video. That's just the things that happen.
Yeah, I'm familiar with
video game development.
Yeah, I'm all familiar with that, working with EA Sports over the years with college football and Tiger Woods and all that stuff. So
yeah, you know how it is with the yearly game. So. Look, I'm hoping
AEW games.
I really hope that. Look, that 2K has no better chance than this 2K22 to deliver the best game possible. Because they have all this extra time to get it done.
Yeah.
Now it's just you really fucking have to deliver.
Yeah.
So.
And I've heard the relationship has been strained between 2K and WWE.
Very much so.
Speaking of video games, how can you not now have Punk dive into the crowd for his entrance on AEW's new game, right?
I don't know, man. That'd be really complicated.
Yeah.
It'd be really complicated to pull off due to the simple fact of you don't really have to overly animate a crowd in these games.
Yeah. It'd have to be a cutscene. To
do a crowd serving, yeah, maybe.
It'd have to be a cutscene.
A cutscene would work.
Yeah.
But to actually do it as part of the entrance, I don't know if that's something they're going to want to attempt. And I know some people argue, well, an entrance is just one long cutscene anyway. But when they do the cutscene, when they do the entrances where you can add the interference and shit in them, and you can take control of your character or whatever, I mean, that's going to cause all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's gonna be able to work, but hell, we'll see. That AEW game is gonna be everything. It's gonna be fucking everything.
Yep.
And I know it's far off. Like rumblings of next fall are far off. Like next October, like October, November type of release window. But that's also a testament to Tony Khan and AEW that they're not rushing this game out.
Yeah, thank God.
Like they want to make sure when this game is out.
They saw the debacle of 2K20.
They look beyond 2K20. They saw the debacle of Cyberpunk. They don't want that. They know you only have one chance to make a first impression in almost everything that you do. They only have one chance to make a first impression with their console franchise.
Thankfully,
and this game has to be a fucking home run. But I believe that in the team that's doing it, and I believe in Brian Williams and Ukes, that this game is going to be everything that fans want and more.
Yeah.
It sucks that we have to wait, but I feel like it'll be worth the wait, when we finally freaking get
it. I was lucky that I have a PS5, so I did not have the issues of Cyberpunk. I put 80 hours into that damn game when it released, so I liked it. I'll play it again once the PS5 version comes out. So, Cole and Danielson's debuts on AEW Dynamite translated to huge ratings. Their biggest rating since the debut of Dynamite, which drew 1.409 million. Last week's Dynamite drew 1.319 million. The big thing was that Dynamite defeated Raw in the demo. How about that, Matt? Dynamite defeated Raw in the damn demo.
And they've defeated them before, but not in the same week.
Yeah.
Like Raw one week and then the following week at Dynamite, like the demo was higher. Like never in the same week have they ever beaten Raw, in the demo. And look, at the end of the day, everybody can say what they want about the viewership numbers and all that bullshit. But the most important fucking factor to television networks and advertisers is that ranking from the 18 to 49 demo. And that's what ranks you as number one on cable. Not your fucking viewership, but your 18 to 49 demo. When a show goes that they're the number one show on cable for a day or whatever, it's not based on viewership. It's based on the demo. So for AEW to actually beat WWE in the demo is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like this early on. Like I started expecting stuff like this to happen next year. Like I didn't expect for it to be happening already. Like my God, pal.
And it may very well, they may very well beat them again, because as much as Vince tried to stack the deck on Raw, they still lost nearly 200,000 viewers this week, 1.67 million. Of course, the biggest hour was the third hour for waiting for Big E's cash. The demo dropped from 0.52 last week to 0.42. So now Raw's demo dropped like a rock. So, it'd be interesting to see what Dynamite puts out. We'll find out tomorrow afternoon. But Raw's demo dropping 1/10 of a point in just a span of a week, all because of Monday Night Football. Dynamite's probably going to win that demo rating once again.
I don't expect Dynamite to hit as high a number this week as they hit last week.
No,
I think they got the big spike off of
the debuts,
off of the pay-per-view in the tune-in. Look, it was a great show. I still think they'll be over 1 million. I think they'll probably be like somewhere between 1.1 and 1.2.
That demo could still beat Raw, though.
But if yes, they very well could. But like, here's the thing: what if it goes up?
Oh, that tells you something. If it goes,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not expecting it, but what if it does?
That means they've maintained an audience. They maintained an audience without. I mean, they didn't. They maintained the audience because there was no big promises of things for this Dynamite. But obviously these, all the big hitters of the new guys were all there. So, but there was no big debuts, no big anything coming up. And so if they're able to maintain that audience, holy shit, look out.
And here's the thing. Vince loaded Raw.
He did
this week.
Title match cash in.
Here's the problem, Vince. You need to load up Raw next week because you have to compete with not only Monday Night Football next week, but you need to compete with fucking Grand Slam next week.
Yeah.
Because AEW just laid down the fucking gauntlet tonight.
They gave you 2 pay-per-views.
Here's our fucking card next Wednesday.
They gave you 2 pay-per-views next week.
And WWE already knows the fucking hand that's being played. They literally have days now to put together the best Raw card possible. Or look, AEW might not win the demo this week. They might spike and fall. Maybe they do. Maybe they win the demo 2 weeks in a row. But I'm telling you right now, if WWE does not bring all their batters to the box next Monday night, I guarantee you that AEW will win the 18-49 demo next.
Thinking of Raw trying to stack the card brought out the sour boy in me there. Sour boy's over. I don't care what the Bucks say.
Sour boy's the worst.
Sour boy's over. I don't care what the Bucks say.
Sour boy's the worst.
Impact was able to stay above $100,000 for a second straight week with a 111. And
look for a cable network that hardly anybody has. That's fucking good.
Yeah, last week.
I'm not even fucking joking. Like out there, I have so many friends that don't have that fucking channel.
I don't anymore.
Like I feel like it's a special thing that I have this channel because so many of my friends don't.
Yeah.
So it makes me believe like even getting the fact that they're getting 6-figure numbers on a channel that next to nobody has is kind of fucking huge for them.
Yeah, I used to have it with cable, but they don't have it on YouTube TV. And I'm not going to pay another service to get it. So
no, I don't blame you.
Rampage dropped for a third straight week. They lost about 25,000 viewers down to 670. Again, that's probably going to be your sweet spot for a Friday night that late. Demo really dropped from 0.3 to 0.21 on Rampage last week, which I still need to watch. Maybe it's my fault, Matt. I didn't watch Rampage. It's all my fault.
How dare you?
SmackDown is continuing to get good. SmackDown, hell of a number, 2.383 million.
It was a hell of a SmackDown.
Because it was the MSG show.
That's the type of thing I'm talking. You got to pull out all the stops like they did for SmackDown and MSG, and you got to do it for 3 fucking hours, pal.
So the last time SmackDown did those numbers, Matt, Christmas Day of 20, because they had an NFL lead-in. Remember that? NFL led them into SmackDown that day on Christmas Day last year.
Yeah.
So that was the last time they hit that high of a number, which was they had 3.3 million. So it's still a million more than this, but that's the highest rated SmackDown since Christmas Day last year. Heels staying steady at 79,000. I still need to catch up. I have not watched 4 or 5 yet, so I need to catch up. The debut audience for 2.0 NXT, I mean, these are numbers they've achieved before, so it's not really a monumental celebration. They got 770 with a 0.21 in the demo. Those are numbers they've achieved even better than this beforehand. So it just because the last week was shits at 601 doesn't mean to celebrate that it's up to 770 because these were numbers they had before and even better. So time will tell on that to see how that goes. Speaking of 2.0 NXT, somebody at MSG was taking video and they showed a promo of NXT 2.0 at MSG during SmackDown on Friday, and it got heavily booed. Heavily booed, Matt. Heavily.
Yes, I know.
Bobby Fish is been announced to he's going to be fighting for MLW on the 2nd of October at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, PA. So good to see Fish back in a ring. He's going to be taking part in the Opera Cup. A few other guys that were announced: Filthy Tom Lawler, Matt Cross, TJP, Davey Richards, and the last guy announced today was Alex Shelley for the Opera Cup. Moving along. PW Insider has learned that the Capital Wrestling Center name is not going to be used in reference to the Performance Center on NXT programming going forward. They're just going to call it the home of NXT. Live from the home of NXT is NXT. Okay.
Yay.
Whatever. After NXT went off the air last night, Johnny Gargano cut a promo talking about the changes, but the heart of the show is going to still what they see in the ring. Blah blah blah. Cameron Grimes came out and Shawn Michaels told him to wrap it up and came down briefly as well and said we are all NXT and sent the crowd home happy.
My God, pal.
So WWE trademarked Lash Legend, and I thought that was something to do with Lashley, but no, that's going to be the name of one of the female wrestlers in NXT. Get ready for all sorts of new names. And let's wrap up Lost the Midcard with some teases, huh? How about Paige teasing, tweeting out January today, Matt?
Which is interesting because her contract's not up until June.
Yeah. Royal Rumble, Matt? Maybe?
I mean, I'm sure she would love that.
And then Bo Dallas saying something is cooking. Head over to my official YouTube channel and stay tuned for October 1st. I have a feeling it's going to be a cooking video series, or maybe he's coming back to wrestling. Maybe he's joining his brother. Who knows? I would like to see old Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt. Something WWE never gave us. We wanted it, but they never gave it to us, did they? Do you think Bray Wyatt wrestles soon, or does he step away for a while?
Oh, dude, he's definitely coming back. Good
deal. Let's go do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard, episode 299, the big 300 next week. We're going to be live. We're going to be live on YouTube, so make sure to go to YouTube, go to Lost in the Midcard, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you know every time we are on with a new episode. And we're going to go live just a little after Dynamite on Wednesday for episode 300. So join in the fun. You'll get your comments on the screen. Just interact with us throughout the whole show. We'd love to have you on. So I'll be promoting that all this week, leading up to that next week. And the podcast version is still going to be available for episode 300. We'll be able to pull the audio from that show and put that in to the podcast as well. So just search for Lost in the Midcard, find the new feed. It says new feed on the label, and subscribe there as well. And links to everything on our website, litmcpodcast.com, as well as the pinned posts of our Twitter at litmc podcast and Facebook, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. Also, give us a follow on the Twitter. Matt is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. I am on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And before we ride off into that sunset, Matt, get ready for some Arthur Ashe and some episode 300 of Lost in the Midcard. What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is how I would book the end of Dynamite next week.
Oh, do tell.
I'm doing time limit draw.
Yeah.
With Omega and Danielson.
Yeah.
I have the Elite jump Danielson after the match. And who's going to be the man to save Danielson from the Elite? Woo! Hangman.
Hell yeah, that'll get a pop and a half, man.
Bring Hangman back at Arthur Ashe.
That'll be a pop and a half, baby.
And they don't have to worry about Danielson having to win over Omega or anything and convoluting the
title
AEW title picture.
Yeah.
It works perfectly. And look, there might be a few people upset with the time limit draw, but nobody is going to be upset as soon as Heyman's music hits.
I love a good Broadway song.
The crowd will come fucking unglued.
Yeah, they will. I love a good Broadway too.
Man,
anyway, so
I got Dynamite on my TV. I still don't like that Spike Powell ever on stage. That makes me uncomfortable.
He's okay.
Dude, a man that had to previously retire due to neck issues. I don't want that man taking pile drivers at 62 years old. I just don't.
It was safe.
I'm just saying.
It was safe.
I don't like it.
Holy shit, we're gonna have a Wednesday and a Friday on our hands next week. We better have a Monday and a Monday on our hand and a Tuesday on our hands too. If WWE knows what's good.
I wouldn't even want to fucking talk about them.
Yeah. So excited for next week. Excited for episode 300. Amazing. We've put out 300 of these things. That's a lot of minutes of talking pro wrestling, but we do it for you, the fans. So thank you for tuning into Lost in the Midcard. We'll be back to you live on YouTube next week for episode 300.